Hi guys, today I'm doing my thoughts on Disventure Camp All Stars. I made like a 20-minute video of this talking, but it was before I caught up and I think my thoughts are a bit more collected. This season isn't great, but the hatred for it has been so overwhelming. I really like Total Drama All Stars. It's a terrible season, but that's what makes it so good, so I want to see if I can do the same with Cass. I'll start with Rhea. The hate I've seen for Rhea is insane. I think I've seen people hate her more than Yul, and Yul is literally a shallow edgelord with no personality outside of saying out-of-pocket things. He's mal but fails entirely at being funny. Rhea's writing isn't the best, especially with how Season 2 ended for her. The progression to her current all-star self is a bit confusing. They made her like cartoonishly evil. I know she's supposed to have depth, but I'd honestly just prefer her being a bad person and owning it if this is the route decided for her character. Season 2 implied she wouldn't act like this anymore, but they did this anyway? Next is Gret. Gret's elimination basically cements this season as having bad writing in some aspect. She didn't even have to win the season. Sure, I was rooting for her the most, and I think out of the final 5 she deserves the win the most, but her elimination could have at least been satisfying instead of prematurely completing her arc. Her arc has been set up for so many episodes throughout All Stars, so throwing her away the moment she seems to be getting back to her old self is a slap in the face. I can't even deny Jake's plot armor in this situation either. Ally had a clear path to the final 3. Out of all 3, I think Gret would benefit the most from additional screen time, and Connor or Jake should have gone home. Their arcs have been dragging too long, honestly. Ally staying with Gret and Rhea might have helped develop Ally a bit more. I don't hate her or anything like many people do, I just wish she had more going for her. I can't confidently root for her because she feels more like a character concept/reference sheet than a real character. Especially for a character this far into the season, the writers have done nothing for her, and I think it's a bit unfair. Maybe voting out Gret will set something up for her? I hope. I don't get instantly shitting on individual characters when it's clearly the writing lacking in some spots and having character biases. Next is Jake. Jake's arc is fine, but I feel he should have gone around when Aiden left. I don't think it's necessary to have Jake befriend all of these people that don't like him initially. It's super repetitive and boring. It kinda pisses me off Tom Jake is getting a spin-off because I truly am not fond of the ship. I don't think Tom fell off that badly in All Stars. I think it all began when he became a cop, like I just knew this guy was bad news. Tom is a fucking moron himbo, but that doesn't mean I have to like him. Also, I wanted to touch on Jake being BPD coded. I really dislike people denying this just because it isn't canon. Yes, I think people calling Ellie and Jake haters ableist and shit is dumb as hell, but as someone with BPD myself, his whole character hits hard for me, and I don't think denying the BPD symptoms he expresses is the route to go. I could go on and on about Jake, but I won't. I do agree he does have plot armor as much as I dislike the word, and as I said, I don't understand why. Him making up with Aiden would be enough to leave his arc on a satisfying note. He doesn't need to warm up to Ally 2. I almost forgot. The tree scene. I think this is implying the wolf situation freaked him out, and I enjoy this little detail. Now Connor. Oh boy, Connor. Boo-hoo. Little. Nepo baby. He's a cringy cornball, and I only like him for old man yaoi reasons. Just let Rhea go, man, don't go all alpha. Out of the final 4 currently, Jake is the most routable, but I'd really like to see Ally get some development over the next few episodes. Now for eliminated characters. First and foremost, Ellie's elimination pissed me TF off. With Yul existing, Yul beefing with Ellie? This is kinda the problem with Gret's arc. I think if they tried setting it up from episode 1 they wouldn't have to keep Yul around so long. His presence just confuses me with how many bad things he says. But yeah, Ellie's elimination is kinda bullshit, and same for Lake. Both of them were voted out just for Tom's arc that ends on a half-baked note anyways. Lake is a little bit more valid because outside of maybe exploring her sexuality more, she didn't have much to offer this season as much as I loved her in Season 2. Ellie, however, was someone I was rooting for going into the season. She needs the money, and I think Tess voting her out for getting too into the game was gross and unsatisfying. I believe in episode 1 Ellie literally talks about how she's working 2 jobs. I think it's obvious why she acts the way she does. Is she in the right all the time? No, but I think the show and fandom villainize her way too much just for saying some bad things. She literally lost $1 million because she thought an older woman was having a heart attack, so I think her being a bit guarded and less trustful makes sense. So if I can't root for Ellie, how about Gabby? Well, no, because she gets out at a purge challenge. Gabby got out to continue Gret's arc, and we all know where that went. Gabby is great but a little sidelined and mostly used for support and an eliminating vote. Yul. Yul stays way too long for how bad he is. It makes no sense how long he stays in when other characters get more shit for way less problematic things. Gabby only starts giving a fuck when he starts fat-shaming Gret, not the 1 million other comments he made before that. That's why I think Gret's arc should have picked up momentum a bit sooner. Yul stays around way too long in my opinion. Ellie gets shit for being slightly mean on television, and Yul can just go be a bigot all he wants? Hunter is kinda funny, he just comes in and hates Fury, it's kinda funny, but I'd also like to see him around longer. I think both Fiore and Hunter were kinda sabotaged this season. James leaves at the perfect time, he is a great first boot this season, his arc in season 2 is really good and doesn't need anything added to it. I like Aiden developing more confidence this season. People call him boring but put him next to Cody total drama, and they're practically the same but one doesn't harass women. His beef with Jake is funny and he has some great one-liners. He isn't the most interesting person in the show but I like his presence. I think giving him more screen time this season showing the impact James had on him was really sweet, and I love the scene where Tom and Aiden talk about their scars, despite me not really liking their dynamic much outside of that. Alec is alright this season, but how the fuck did he not do a puzzle? Bro, you're one of the smartest people here. Huge fumble elimination, kinda deserved, sorry buddy. Connor and Alec making OU, who said that Alec would have made a great winner, but I don't really mind them getting rid of him as much as others do, and Alec is one of my favorites. Outside of the Villains Alliance, Alec doesn't do much strategizing like his season 1 counterpart, which is why maybe I don't really care he's gone. That's why Gret leaving feels even worse, because she can strategize, none of these dumbass bitches left like doing that. Where the schemers at? Miriam doesn't do much this season, and I'm fine with that. Similarly to James, there isn't much to do with her. I liked Ashley this season a bit more than season 1. At first I thought her hate on Fiore was a bit annoying because she's 8 and you're like 20-something, but her development with Jake was good. Finally, Tess. Tess doesn't do much this season besides eliminate one of my favorite characters. I really like her redesign, but outside of that she doesn't do much, she's kinda like an audience surrogate almost. Also that greeting where she says ally is like a sister? Foul. Every Yuri enjoyer just fell to their knees sobbing. Thanks Tess for ruining my hopes and dreams / not serious. Kinda don't care about the challenges much, they're whatever. Even in normal total drama, I usually don't give a fuck. I liked the lie detector one, I won't lie. That was unintentional. The WAP one was nasty, and the joke about Connor not knowing TikTok made me want to shut the show off, it was so unfunny. Haha, get it? Old people don't know internet stuff? Laughing so hard. Trevor and Emily are my little sillies and my last hope for none of the final 4 winning this. I don't ship them, I just think they're besties and I love their dynamic. I think that's it. If I forgot something I'll just add it when I inevitably do a video on my thoughts on the final episodes.